Hey everybody, GCurse here. I just finished watching Wargames 2, and I would thought giving my review. Let's get started. Viewers were treated to a match that was not announced. Match number 1 was Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno. This match was created after Cassius Ohno interrupted Matt Riddle during an interview. Okay, let's get on to the main things I really noted for the match. If you were expecting a decent match, this was not even a decent match. This was purely a squash match that was designed to get Matt Riddle over. I will openly say I'm a fan of Chris Hero, and I feel sorry for him. He's been so misused since he's returned to the WWE. I honestly see potential in this guy, but they just do not give him anything. And when they do give him something, it's always, it's either wins that don't really amount to anything, or he's getting seriously jobbed to new people. Now, I'm not sure what his contract is, if he was hired as an enhancement talent, but if he's not hired as an enhancement talent, then this has to be one of the biggest robberies, of this last few years with a wrestler being treated this badly. If it matters at all, Matt Riddle got the victory, so I guess his first pay-per-view or special event or whatever you want to call it, he got his first W. The next match pits Shayna Baszler, who is a champion, against Kairi Sane. This was a very good match compared to what we just saw with the Matthew Riddle versus Ono match. Kairi Sane came out extremely explosive in this match. I mean, she was, the minute that bell rang, she was on top of Baszler, and she was just throwing fists. I have to give these two mesh very well together in the ring. To me, the best example I can give is like peanut butter and jam. Dude, what the fuck? Anyway, peanut butter and jam, or Oreos and milk, pizza, root beer. These two just very well mesh together. When it comes to the way that the rounds broke down, Shayna Baszler got the first round, while Kairi Sane got the second round, and Baszler got the third final round. I'll admit, I actually predicted this match would fall this way, with them both getting one, and then there being the third and final match. That's one thing I wish would have changed. It's like, once in a great while, what's wrong with just having a match where a person either gets two victories right away? Why does that always have to follow one, and then one? One wrestler gets one, another wrestler gets one, and then the first wrestler gets the second one. Are we not allowed to see a squash match in these type of matches? Okay, now, this is going to be something I'm not sure if I can recall correctly, but whatever happened to the rules of this match? The match was, if I recall correctly, I think it was 2 weeks ago, William Regal made an announcement saying that Baszler's two friends, Schaefer and Duke, would not be allowed to interfere in this match. They interfered like mad. It's like, what's the point of making this rule? It's just like they're totally gonna bypass it. To me, it just seems like there was some shoddy writing last minute when it hit the script. So continuity was a major issue with this match. I like the idea of there being a possible stable with Sane, Shirari, and Dakota Kai. I like the thought that they could form a team and go up against Baszler, Schaefer, and Duke. That is something I would really like to see, but I'm also kind of nervous about Schaefer and Duke because they've never been in the ring yet, so who knows how that's going to be now. But besides that, the only other real question was, where was William Regal? I mean, there was chaos going here all the time, and he was nowhere to be seen. You would think that the commissioner or whatever his role is at NXT, you would think that he would be scripted in, that he'd be there to observe these matches. Anyway, Baszler gets the W for this match. Next up. Okay, next up we have what could be one of the matches of the night, if not match of the year. We have Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano. God, there's not much I can say that would do this match justice. This match was perfect from the beginning to the end. I was especially impressed with how Gargano was actually able to keep outpacing Aleister Black. It seems that every time Aleister Black started to adapt to Gargano, Gargano would shift into another gear and just constantly throw off Aleister Black. It was unbelievable this match. I liked how Aleister Black was putting his best effort into this match, and considering that he was gone for, I think it was 2 months with a groin injury, this match he was still pretty much on his game this entire match. Once again, awesome story. I mean, like I said, you'd have to see this match to really do it justice. There was so much taunting between the two of them. There were so many times that they would each try to do each other's moves. Let's see, best example is like when Gargano went to lift up Aleister Black with his foot, like how Aleister does it when he goes to do Black Mass. There was that, and then there was the time that Aleister he pulled his knee pad down and went to kneed Gargano, like how Gargano and Ciampa used to do it during their DIY days. Let's see here. Another spot that I just loved was Gargano was going to do a suicide dive to the outside, and Aleister Black just nailed him with a knee. I mean, I saw that. Oh, that is so nasty. I mean, I will admit I marked out for that. But yeah, this was match of the night easily. Gargano, I have to give Gargano credit. He's really fitting into the role as the hero that's been kind of twisted by what Ciampa did to him, and now he walks that fine line. I think he's kind of in between as a face and a heel, but he likes to kind of cross over that line every time. But yeah, he's really playing that troubled hero face role to a T, and I think this could look really good for him. As I said, match of the night. Let's see here. Yeah, basically, I think the ending of this match was kind of, I don't want to use the word touching because I don't want to sound like I'm too soft when I do this review, but it was really very touching. I mean, those two fought each other for at least 15 minutes, and Black finally lifted Gargano up with his foot, did Black Mass, and amazingly Gargano stayed on his feet, but he was basically knocked out on his feet, and he ended up leaning against Aleister Black. Well, Aleister Black pushed him away, and Gargano was still standing, and Black said something. I can't recall what he said. I think he said something along the lines of, I'm forgiving your sins, or something to do with the sins that Gargano's been doing. And then he did the Black Mass again and knocked him out and got the W for this match. If you were to watch this special, I would recommend this match and the match that's following next. What we have next is match number 4, which is Tommaso Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream. Ciampa is the champion. I will say right off the bat, I feel that this was the second match of the night. I can't pick one above the other, but these both share the title match of the night. I will openly admit I am still marking out every time I hear Ciampa's music. I don't know what it is, just something in it gets my blood pumping. I think I personally believe that I think that the heels always have better music. And I can't explain it. It's just I like Ciampa's music. Anyway, next we have Velveteen Dream's outfit. Uh, if you could not tell, this was literally a reproduction, almost down to the little threads. This was a reproduction of Hogan's 1996, I think it was, his the outfit he wore just after, I think it was on Monday, the following Monday after Bash at the Beach, when he became Hollywood Hulk Hogan, where it was so replicated. It even had the lightning, down the side of the legs, and to that I liked it, but it's like, why do a shout out to somebody like Hogan? I was shocked that they did that, to be honest. It looked nice, but I thought, considering Velveteen Dream, his character, I thought he would have gone out with like a Randy Savage inspired outfit, not Hulk Hogan. Considering that Hulk Hogan was, blacklisted for what, 3 years, I'm shocked that he's getting this much coverage, or even this much acceptance. Uh, Next up, we have these two were doing awesome mind games. This was only second to the Black and Gargano match. The what I really liked was when they were literally kind of, posing with the Hollywood headband that Dream came out with, and Dream had it around his forehead, and Ciampa, he was able to take it off of his forehead, and Dream didn't know it until it was too late, and that was pretty awesome. It's just how they were fighting over that one little piece of fabric. Next up, we have the only downside I can really see about this match was way too many Hulk Hogan shoutouts. I mean, is Hulk Hogan already, oh god, what's politicking? Because it was unreal how many freaking Hogan shoutouts they did in this match. I mean, I was watching this, I'm like, like I said, that was the only downside about this match, was all the Hogan shoutouts, and it got bad when they did the Hogan leg drops. It's like, really, I could not wrap my head around that. That's the only real problem I had with this entire match, was just the shoutouts. I know people like Hogan, but to me, I appreciate what he's done for the business, but I think Hogan should have honestly just walked off into the sunset. He had his time, and the fact that they're now doing these shoutouts, I'm really worried if he's going to start politicking, and it'll be like another WrestleMania. I think it was WrestleMania 9, where Hogan got the belt off of Yokozuna for basically no reason. I'm worried something like that level is going to happen again. The audience was over for Velveteen Dream. I mean, if Vince does not see this and put a belt on this guy soon, it'll be another issue with like Braun Strowman. Strowman was over with the audience. Vince did not listen, and he kind of ruined a good thing. I loved how Ciampa was trolling the audience. That was hilarious. One time he sat out on the outside of the ring, and he started congratulating himself and patting himself over the back, and the audience was just booing the shit out of him. And I'll admit, I marked that again, and I started laughing my ass off, because the fact is, this guy, he plays an awesome heel. You cannot get a better heel right now in the WWE. Let's see here. Oh god, those moves that Ciampa was doing, leading up to that sleeper hold. Holy shit! I know that WWE is scripted and this is predetermined and all that, but holy hell, some of those moves look like, I was amazed that Velveteen Dream was left in one piece, leading up to that sleeper hold. That whole image with the Dream, Velveteen Dream just drooling. Oh my god! And then Ciampa having the courage to put his hand over his Dream's face and just rub that saliva in. I'm like, oh god, that's gross, man. That is, I could not do that. I honestly could not. I don't think I could have put my hand in somebody's slobber and just rub it. Oh my god, that was nasty. The facial expressions Ciampa did during that leg drop, the Hogan leg drop. Like I said, I don't really want to get back into that whole thing, so I'll just continue on. The ref's facial expression during the time that Ciampa was holding the Dream's tights. That ref oversold. He oversold that like by a factor of 10. It was to the point it was comical. His eyes were bulging, and he's like, "What are you doing, man? How you got to?" It was like, dude, you're a referee. Holy shit! I think he actually thought he was a wrestler there for a minute. Let's see. Next, we have all those close calls. I mean, pin after pin after pin after pin after pin, kick out, kick out, kick out. You know, I mean, holy shit! And each time, I would not have been upset if one of those pins led to a victory because these two just beat the holy hell out of each other. And like I said, I would not have felt bad if the match ended right there because they earned their night's worth of money. Let's see here. Oh, and one thing I know that a lot of people is going to be pissed about is Ciampa slapping Riaffo or whatever that guy, the announcer's name is, Marlo Riaffo or whatever. But I'm pretty sure that if this was not scripted, I'm pretty sure he'll be in a shit ton of trouble. But I'm pretty sure this was scripted and nothing is really going to happen. But this really makes Ciampa look even more like an asshole because who hits the referees? I mean, I can't really recall the last time not a referee, the announcer. The last time I can really remember an announcer getting hit was back when Steve Austin, during his paranoid phase, beat the holy hell out of Michael Cole to the point everybody felt uncomfortable. That's the only time I can really recall. Well, there's also the time that Kane set Jim Ross on fire, but I mean, besides those two times, I can't really recall. Okay, next we have that killer DVD Death Valley driver onto the concrete. Holy shit, that oh my god. That Death Valley driver, I thought that was gonna kill the guy. I thought that was gonna kill him, and that was gonna be it. Then there was the DDT that was in the middle of the two rings, right on that metal plate. These guys took some of the biggest bumps I've seen that night. Next, we well, basically, Ciampa gets the victory in this match, a hard-earned victory. But I'm pretty sure that we will not see the end of Ciampa versus the Velveteen Dream. Okay, finally we have Wargames. I will be honest, there was just too much to really cram into this, so I'm just going to break it down into the most important things I noticed. First pick was for the Undisputed Era was Adam Cole, which I was shocked. I didn't think Adam Cole would be the first one, but that was pretty cool. Then next was Ricochet. Second pick was Kyle O'Reilly, followed by Hanson from the War Raiders. Third, we have Roderick Strong for Undisputed Era. Then following on his not coattails, but his heels was Rowe from War Raiders. And then the fourth and final person was Bobby Fish for Undisputed Era. The last person being Pete Dunne for the faces. Bobby Fish, he ended up chaining shut Pete Dunne's cage after he was freed. So basically, it took a few extra minutes to get Pete Dunne free, but he ended up getting free, and the match beyond started once Pete Dunne was finally able to get into the ring. Once again, we have useless refs. I mean, what is wrong with the ref standing up for himself and pushing the wrestlers like the old refs used to. It's like these refs don't have a backbone anymore. If we had the refs like there used to be in this business, the wrestlers wouldn't get away with a lot of that shit. I know it's scripted, so you don't have to say who Jeff is scripted. I know it's scripted, but still, I miss when the referees were assertive. I love the fact that they added weapons into this war games. It really upped the ante. Made it really more important for each team to win. I like that. I liked how the chairs had a little undisputed era symbol on them. That was awesome. I know I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but awesome storytelling. I liked how these two teams they were both physically drained, and they all met up in the very middle of the ring in that what they call the trench. They just stood there and just started bad mouthing each other, and then another major brawl started out between them. I don't think we've seen the end of these two factions fighting each other, and I'm honestly looking forward to it. The War Raiders, Pete Dunne and Ricochet get the victory, and it's nice to see a face team win this new incarnation of the War Games. I kind of I had a feeling that it's possibly going to be the faces winning because normally the heels always seem to win the coin flip as it's called or whatever it was back when during the original War Games. They would normally get the first guy, and then the faces would heroically rebound and ended up winning. There was only a couple times during the old NWA, WCW days that the heels won the War Games. One time was when Brian Pillman was injured, if I recall correctly. I can't recall if that was kayfabe or not. And then the next War Games that the heels won was during I think it was 1996 when the NWO was facing off against WCW, and the match included that fake Sting and all that. But overall, I like this War Games. It was a nice little ending to this special. Now on to the review, the final review and the grade and all that. Okay, time for the final review and grade for NXT War Games 2018. The pros, I'm gonna give the Shayna Baszler versus in that Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane that match. That was a good match going on. I love the storytelling of Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano. Another match of the night was the Tommaso Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream. The War Games, holy shit, that thing was just a brawl, and sometimes I like it when we have a good brawl. Some of the things that were, that was kind of, common in all these matches, with the exception of the Matt Riddle and Cassius Ohno match, was the stories that these people were telling. You could not get better storytelling from the WWE right now. It's really true when people say that NXT is the best brand in the WWE right now. If only Raw and SmackDown were able to produce these kind of stories, then they would have better ratings, to be honest. And ultimately, there were two matches of the night: the Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream. I can't pick either one to be the top match of the night, so they're both going to be sharing that honor. Okay, now for the cons. There's not many that many cons that I do have, but here's what I have. Something I already mentioned before: useless refs. I'm not sure what it is. I'm just wishing that we had more assertive refs in this, in the WWE. I'm not sure how they are outside of the WWE, but these refs are they're snowballs compared to what we used to have, and that's pretty sad. The Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno match that did not need to happen. Nothing against either of them. They both got talent. It's just there was nothing really there to warrant a match. To me, the point of being on a special is like these specials are meant kind of to be the end of these kind of matches, and these rivalries and stuff. And the Matt Riddle versus Cash Ozona match, that they're just starting their rivalry. So I don't see what the point of putting them on this quickly on this special is. I just don't. Next, we have the lack of continuity with the Baszler Kairi Sane match. Everything just seemed to have flew out the window on that one. And finally, where was William Regal? I was really waiting for William Regal to come out and throw out all the people who are interfering in that match, both the faces and the heels. Just tell them to go back to the fucking locker room. But no, there's no William Regal. He just was not there. Overall, I give this special final grade of A. A lot of people probably say, with all the cons, that it should have been an A minus, but not being too harsh for this special. Granted, this kind of held it down a little bit, but I don't think it was really worth going that far down. Overall, I enjoyed this pay-per-view special, whatever you want to call it, and I can't wait for the Survivor Series. I'm hoping that it turns out to be as good as this was, but I'm highly doubting it. Wait till tomorrow for my possible review of the Survivor Series. If not tomorrow, then it'll be early next week. Take it easy, everyone. Thank you, and have a good night.